Welcome to the Life After Plus One podcast, where we turn life's lemons into delightful lemonade. Get ready for inspiring stories, uplifting conversations, and all the tips and tricks to rock your single parent journey with style. I'm your host, Leanne, and it's time to embrace the adventure of Life After Plus One. So, let's dive in. Hello, welcome back to Life After Plus One. I'm Leanne, your podcast host and your single parent mentor and coach. And today I want to talk about the topic of, should I meet my ex's new partner? I don't know what to do. They've approached me about meeting their new partner, or I'd like to meet their new partner, but they're not on board. What should I do? Should I meet them? Do I have to meet them? Is it important to do so? What do I do in this situation? Okay, so we're going to talk about that today. Now, I'm going to dive into the reasons why you should and the reasons why you shouldn't meet your ex's new partner. But before I do, if you are in this situation, I want you to take into consideration that your ex's new partner is not your ex. They haven't gone through that situation with you. So depending on the relationship you have with your ex, if it was a not so pleasant one, if it was a toxic one and it was quite nasty, then their perception of you is going to be what they've been fed from your ex. They've just know you or got information from you from what they've been told of from their new partner, which is your ex. And so there's a good chance they haven't got a positive outlook on you as it is. Because there's not many exes who give a nice review on their ex if it hasn't ended in a positive way. If it is quite amicable, then there's a good chance they might say something nice like, oh, they're a great mum, they're a good person, we just weren't a match. So it depends on your situation and the relationship you have with your ex on how this new partner is going to perceive you. So this could be a good opportunity for you to actually meet them and give them the opportunity to see the real you and not just the version of you that they've heard. So do keep that in mind, that when you are in this situation, don't hold anger towards the new partner because they haven't done this to you. They haven't put you through that breakup. It's not their situation unless they've jumped on the bandwagon and started being nasty to you because of things that they've heard from your ex. Then that's a different story. But don't just come straight into it having anger or hate or bitterness towards the new partner purely for the reason that they are the new partner. So in saying that, I'm going to jump straight into some reasons as to why you shouldn't meet the new partner. So one reason why you should not meet the new partner is if you're not emotionally ready. Now, sometimes people, they break up, you've broken up from your ex, they've quickly moved on and got a new partner and they want you to meet them. Now, first of all, they shouldn't be rushing into a new relationship as it is, especially when they've just broken up with someone with kids and everything else. People still do that. People rush into relationships because they don't like being alone. And if you're in that situation where you feel like your partner's rushed into a relationship and you're insisting on meeting the new partner or they're insisting on you meeting them, you don't have to rush to do it. If you're not emotionally ready, you're still angry and hurt and bitter about what happened in the breakup, then don't do it. Because meeting this new partner is only going to trigger those wounds. It's going to bring out those emotions, and there's a good chance you're probably going to take them out onto this new partner or even your ex, or you might even get into a fighting battle with your ex. You don't want to do that. So if you're not emotionally ready and you haven't fully healed from that breakup and meeting the new partner is going to trigger those wounds, then don't do it. Give it time. Don't rush into it. And another reason why you should not meet the new partner, which kind of links to the last point, and that is if there's a potential for conflict. Are there unresolved issues between you and your ex that could arise and create a negative impact on the whole situation? If that's the case and you're feeling like you are still quite hurt and there's a lot of issues there that haven't been sorted out, a lot of things have just been swept under the carpet, you're both angry at each other and you feel like if you both see each other and the new partner's there, it's just going to turn into World War III, then don't do it. You don't want to meet this new partner if it's going to be a battle and there's going to be conflict. Another reason why you should possibly reconsider meeting the ex's new partner is if you just personally feel like it's just not necessary. It's okay to feel like that. Because if you feel like that you are in a place where you're comfortable with the co-parenting arrangement, the kids have settled in and they've adjusted, they're fine with the arrangement at the other parent's house and they're fine with the arrangement at your house, the kids are all happy, there's no issues, and you just personally don't feel like you want to meet the other person, then you don't have to. Kids are settled in well, they're adjusted, they're fine, they're happy, and you just don't want to do it, then don't do it. You don't have to. Do what you're comfortable with, but if the kids are happy and everything's fine, then just leave it as is. Another reason why you should not meet the new partner is if it's purely for your own personal agenda, which means for your own personal curiosity, you're just wanting to know the tea on their relationship. You're wanting to know how they met, how long they've been together, what kind of relationship they have. I mean, it's good to know what kind of relationship they have, I suppose. If the kids are going to be there, you want to know that they get along well and there's good communication, but you don't need the nitty-gritty details. If you're wanting to meet for all those details, and if you're wanting to meet so you can share information about your breakup and what he did to you or what she did and how you guys ended and what kind of relationship you had, then that's all for the wrong reasons. Your decision to meet your ex's new partner needs to be based around your kids and ensuring that it's a healthy co-parenting arrangement. The kids are happy, the kids are supported, and the kids are getting what they need. It's not for your own personal agenda, so you can just feel better in yourself knowing that they're not as better looking as you, or they don't dress nicely, or they don't have a good job like you do. Whatever it is, you do not want to meet a new partner for those reasons. And if that's your intentions on wanting to meet someone's or your ex's new partner, then maybe hold off a bit. Because if that's why you're wanting to meet them, then you've obviously got some emotional hurt and you've got some wounds still there. You're wanting to feel better in yourself by seeing this other person and by telling them about your relationship. Don't let that become the issue. So make sure you're at a good place in yourself before you consider wanting to do this. Another reason why you should reconsider meeting them is if it's undermining their trust. You don't want to step in and meet them or meet the new partner just so you can interfere in their relationship or as a way to control the situation. Don't do that. It's not about saying, this is how I do things and this is how you have to do things. This is how we did it when we lived together, so it has to be done like that now. You can't control how the other parent is going to parent. And that's an important thing you need to remember. They're never going to parent the same as you. Just as like your best friend, your own mother probably doesn't parent the same way as you. So that your ex is not going to parent the same way as you. Meeting the new partner is about getting to know them, not about forcing your parenting style onto them, not about interfering into their relationship. So if that's your motive behind wanting to meet the new partner, then again, hold off. That's not the reason why you should be meeting them. Because doing that is only going to damage the trust you have with your ex, if you do have any. And you don't want to damage the relationship that you already have that's then going to affect the kids. And in saying that, that is the last reason that I'm going to say as to why you should not meet the ex's new partner. And that is the impact it has on the kids. If you feel like meeting this new person is going to feel awkward for the kids, it's going to make them feel anxious, if you have tension between you and your ex at the moment and doing this is just going to make things worse and it's going to make things uncomfortable for the kids, don't do it. Don't do it. So it all goes back to what I said at the start, being emotionally ready. If you're not emotionally ready, it's going to affect all these other things. It's going to potentially bring up conflict. It's going to bring up you wanting to force on your parenting style and have a little bit of control and overstepping boundaries. Make sure that you're in a good place emotionally before you consider it. And remember, you don't have to. If you feel it's not necessary, then that's okay, as long as your kids are happy. Now, on a positive note, let's talk about reasons why you should meet the ex's new partner. And that is to create harmony in the co-parenting arrangement and a respectful co-parenting dynamic. It is nice to know who your kids are with. It is nice to know what they're doing, and well, not necessarily what they're doing, but who they're with when they're going places on weekends, when they're going on holidays, when they're going away and having fun activities. It's nice to know. You might have an ex who works on weekends, and sometimes it's going to only be the partner that's there, not your ex. So it's nice to know that when they're in their care, they're going to be looked after. They're supported. You're not sitting at home anxious and worried and go, well, they're at work. I hope the kids are looked after. I hope the kids are happy and not just sitting home miserable because the dad's not there or mum's not there, whatever the situation is. So meeting the other person is a good chance to just give you that sense of comfort that you need, knowing that your kids are in safe hands or in good hands. Another reason why you should meet the new partner is just for reassurance. Knowing the kids are safe and supported, and also it gives you a chance just to assess their character and see what kind of parent they are. You might not know anything about them. All you know about them is that they're your ex's new partner. Meeting them might give you the opportunity to find out they've got 3 kids of their own, or that they're a really caring and compassionate person. You might learn more about their character. So you might be in a place where you're still not liking your ex. You're not happy with them. You think they're the worst person in the world, but you might meet this new partner and you might think, well, they're lovely. I really like them. Hopefully they can level out this person and make them become a little bit more grounded. So it's for your reassurance. It gives you that reassurance knowing that the kids are with someone who is a good person. And it also gives you an idea on their parenting style. Now, you're not going to see everything about them when you might meet them for the first time, but just getting an understanding of their character will help you learn a little bit about what kind of parent they are. Are they a strict parent? Are they someone that has rules and is very firm about what their decisions? Are they someone that just gets walked all over? It gives you a bit of an idea of their character, so you know when you've got rules in place that they're going to follow through, or they're just someone that lets the kids run amok. It gives you an idea on their character and what to expect when the kids are with them. And now following on from that, another reason why you should, because it gives you the opportunity to establish boundaries and expectations. What you want in the parenting arrangement. Are there decisions that you think only mum and dad need to handle? Are there specific disciplinary approaches that you have? Do you have certain ways that or major decisions that need to be handled in a certain matter? So it just gives you the opportunity to discuss certain things. And again, as I just said, you can't expect them to parent the same way you do, but it's your chance to just explain how things are done and what you like and what you don't like. And another reason why you should meet the new partner is because you've been able to put the past behind. You've no longer got any emotions. You're not triggered by your ex. You're not fazed by anything that happens. You might have been broken up for a lengthy period of time, for a number of years or whatever the situation. And you are just now at a place where you're happy with your own partner, or you're happy being single, whatever your situation is. And you have no emotional connection to your ex at all. And you know that no matter what happens, you're not going to be triggered or fazed or angry or anything by the interaction. Just going to be a meeting with a person who your kids get to spend time with. So that's a reason why you should. When you feel like, yep, there's no issues here. I have no dramas. I'm at a good place. I'm happy just to meet them for that little bit of reassurance and comfort and my peace of mind. And another reason why you should, because it models positive behavior. You're teaching the kids that you don't have to hold grudges. You don't have to be angry to everyone. You can move on and be mature about things. It's okay. It's okay to be friends with your ex's new partner or just acquaintances. You don't have to be best friends. Some people might be. But it teaches them that you don't have to be angry and bitter and hold grudges towards people that have hurt you in the past. You can move on from these situations and you can better yourself. And that's a good lesson to teach to the kids. You don't have to constantly be out and try and prove a point to people or control situations. It's okay to let things go and move on. So really, when you're in that process of considering meeting the ex's new partner, they've approached you, you've approached them, whatever the situation is, it all comes down to personal decision. There is no obligation. There is no, you've got to meet them because it's the new partner. You've got to meet them because they're going to be around the kids. You don't have to. If you're not emotionally ready, you're not mentally ready, you're still wounded from the past, then don't do it. Some people feel the need to actually heal and recover from their breakup before they move on to doing something like this. But keep in mind that actually doing this could be a good way to heal. Actually meeting the new partner, seeing what they're like, seeing that they're a decent person could be a good step for you to heal and move on and go, actually, you know what? That's actually nice. I enjoyed meeting them. That was quite comforting. I feel good that the kids are there with her or him. That's given me a little bit of reassurance, and that could be a bit of healing for you to move on. But not everyone is going to be emotionally prepared for it. So you just got to remember, is meeting that person going to create conflict? And also, don't focus on it being an obligation. Oh, I've got to do it. I've got to meet them, I suppose. Or I really have to. The kids are going to be there. Don't focus on it being something you have to do. Rather, focus on what's best for the kids and what's best for your emotional health. If this is going to really make you anxious and get you worked up, and knowing that you're having to meet the new partner, you're feeling all stressed and worried and you're not sure how to handle the situation, then don't do it. Don't rush into it. You don't necessarily have to pull the plug completely on the idea, but you can delay it. You can push it back a little time. Just say, I'm not just ready yet. Or even if you don't want to say that, even if you don't want to say I'm not ready, just say I'm busy, but yeah, I'm keen to do it. I'm very interested in meeting this new partner. I'll let you know when I'm free. You don't even have to give them any explanation. Just tell them you're busy, and when you're free, you then make the arrangement, or you make the time to organize to meet up. But don't feel pressured into it. Don't do it if you're going to just be uncomfortable in that situation, because it'll show. And especially if the kids are present. I mean, you don't have to have the kids present. It's up to you. I think for the first time when you're meeting the ex, it's nice just to do it, the three of you, your ex and the new partner. Even if you want to do it just you and the new partner, it's up to you. It's all a personal preference, what you are each comfortable with. And that's how you need to feel in the moment. You need to feel comfortable. Don't go in there thinking that you're going to be a big shot and show them, I'm going to show them what kind of person he is or what she did to me. No, it's not about that. It's not about, a relationship bashing and showing what you went through and proving your point about your relationship. It's not about your relationship. It's about the co-parenting arrangement. That's the reason why you're meeting this new partner, or potentially going to meet the new partner. So if you are going in there for those reasons that are not beneficial, that could have an impact, then do think about that. Think about how it can impact the kids. Think about how it can impact the relationship with your ex and how it can impact the co-parenting arrangement. You don't want to make it worse, especially when they're meeting a new partner and you might be nervous and worried. And some people, when their ex gets a new partner for the first time, especially when you've been in a relationship for so long, it's not an easy thing to digest. It can be quite difficult. That's a hard thing in itself. And to know that this new person is going to come in as a mother figure or a father figure to your kid's life, and you're like, well, I'm not comfortable with this. Take your time with it, because it is a lot. It's a big pill to swallow. But also, when you do get to meet them, it allows you the opportunity just to say things of what you expect of them and what you don't expect. Some people are happy for the new partner to refer to their kids as mum, to have the kids refer to them as mum or dad. Me personally, I don't like it. Some people, I know there are other people out there that do it. It's totally your choice. So those are things you can put out there. I don't want my kid calling you mum, or don't want my kid calling you dad. Can we just keep it on first name basis? I like to still remain in contact with my kid. I like to be able to FaceTime them when need be, or call them or text them. Whatever you want to put out there, you say it, but make sure it's nothing to control the situation. And make sure, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this. It's not your place to do that. It's not your relationship. So just remember, this is about meeting them for the first time. You don't know what they're like. You don't know anything about them. You may know bits and pieces already that you may have heard from the kids if the kids have met them. So hopefully you've got positive feedback from the kids. If you haven't, then don't go in there and drill this person because you've heard certain information from them or from the kids. Don't go in there and say, oh, the kids have said this about you. The kids have said that. It's not about that. It's not a revenge game and trying to belittle them and attack them because you automatically don't like them because they're the new partner. Because that's the thing, isn't it? You automatically hate the ex's new partner because they're the new partner. They're kind of like taking your spot, so to speak. So you automatically hate them. But when you're meeting them for the first time, this is not the time to discuss any issues or anything that you don't like about your ex or them. This is the time to get to know them, to make sure everything's comfortable. Get to a place where you feel like you can talk to them about stuff. If you want to raise an issue, maybe bring it up, talk about it, but don't do it if it's going to start conflict. But also keep in mind, I think it's the last episode or the episode before about when I discussed managing stepkids. So when you're coming into a relationship as a step-parent figure and the kids don't approve or the kids don't get along, that is a common scenario. It is very common for when kids to meet the new partner or the new step-parent to not approve, especially when they're in that teenage and the young pre-tween age. Pre-teen age, I should say. It's very common for them to not like the new partner because they automatically get on the back foot and think, well, you're not my dad or you're not my mum. So automatically these kids are going to hate the new partner because they just think they're taking over. But that's not what it's about. So if you get feedback from the kids that's not so positive, don't go in there and drill this partner straight off the bat because you've heard something from the kids that they don't like. Because they could be the loveliest person, but they just don't like them because they're the new partner. And as I mentioned in that podcast that I was just talking about with step parents, I hated my mum's new partner purely for that reason. I have been in that situation where I was a teenage kid and didn't like my stepdad because he was the stepdad. No other reason. He was an amazing father figure and he still is. He's there more than my father is. But that's just the phase that kids go through. So make sure if you do get negative feedback from the kids, get more from it. And it's also your job to reassure them. Reassure the kids, okay, you know what? He's not coming in as dad or she's not your new mum. That's just dad's new partner or mum's new partner. It's just their new partner. Just learn to get along with them like they're just another adult in your life. And if the kids bring up something they don't like, try have a calm discussion with your ex or with them if you can and find out what's the misunderstanding. But meeting them for the first time is not the place to go in there and drill them and say, well, I heard this about you. I heard this about you. Be open-minded. And also kind of going off topic a little bit, you don't want to push it to the point where you're so angry to the point where the kids then don't want to go. And it affects the whole co-parenting arrangement. The kids have then got the shits with the other parent or the kids have got the shits with the other parent's new partner, so they don't want to go there and you're just like, fine, don't go. Don't get it to that point. It's not a control tactic as to who has the kids more or less. And when you are in those early stages and when you're going through this period for the first time where you're having to manage co-parenting, it is a real kick to the guts when you start having that time without your kids. It's a hard thing to process. It is. I know, I've been there. But having to adjust to that time when you don't have your kids, it's a struggle. And all you just think is, my kids, I wish I could have them all the time. Why do they get them on the weekends when they get to have fun with them and I only get them during the school week? Or why do they get them this? Or I want them more, or I want them here, and I want them there. And it's very easy to get into that mindset when you're co-parenting. But it's not about competing who has the kids more. It's about just trying to work out what's best for the kids. And it is hard to actually, you feel like you're giving them up. You feel like, okay, you're giving them away because you're used to having them every single day. And that's extremely difficult to process. So don't do anything where you're going to affect a relationship where the kids all of a sudden don't want to go. Because I can guarantee you at some point you'll probably look back and regret it, because it is nice to have that time to yourself. And you're not going to do it selfishly because you just want your alone time. You're doing it because it's also good for the kids. They need that other parent. And hopefully they're a responsible and respectable parent that is a good role model in their lives. And that's why you want them going. So I did go off track a little bit here, but just keep in mind that when you are in that situation to meet them, that you're doing it for the right reasons and you feel okay about it. You feel okay in yourself. You're not stressed, you're not anxious, you're not all worried, you're not scared, you're not worried if you don't feel like you look good enough and you think that they're going to look better. It's not about that. It's not a beauty pageant as to who's a better partner or who's better at this or who's better at that. Don't look at it like that. All you want to know is what kind of person they are, so you know what to expect when your kids are with them. And that's what you need to keep the focus on. Now, it's also important to keep in mind that this is the time you need to put your ego to the side and think of what's best for the kids. Because if this relationship is going to be a long-term relationship, which you hope that it would be, that's why you're meeting them and that's why the kids are meeting them. And eventually it's going to get to a point where you're probably going to have to meet them, whether it be at one of the kids' birthdays because they're having a birthday party and they want both parents there. It may be an older birthday, like an 18th or a 21st, and it's a big celebration. And they're not going to do two parties to make mum and dad happy. It's one big party. So you've all got to be there and get along. Weddings, Christmas, those kinds of things. So it's not just about being nosy. It's not just about reassuring you. It's also about the long-term effect of how it will have an impact on the kids by you choosing to or choosing not to meet this new partner, because there's going to be those times where you will have to be in contact with them. So that's just food for thought to think about when you're deciding whether or not you should meet this new partner. So that's about it from me today. I'm going to wrap it up. So I hope this gave you a bit of insight into the topic of meeting the ex's new partner. So just remember, don't feel obliged to do it if you're not ready to do it, or if you're not comfortable to do it, or if you just don't feel it's necessary. So go over those points again. Make sure you're in a good headspace if you do want to do it and you're not in a place where you feel like it's going to trigger wounds and you're going to get upset. Keep it purely about meeting the person that's going to be with your kids when they are there. All right, so thank you guys. And as I just said, I hope you got something from this episode. Feel free to share any feedback that you have, any questions. And if you're loving the show, put a review. I'd love to hear your feedback, any comments, any questions. Share it with your single parent friends and let's get this in as many ears as we can. So don't forget, if you're wanting a bit more support, because it is tough. It is tough to get through those emotions. It is tough to figure out that whole dating process. I don't need help with dating. I'm fine, but dating world shit. I'm just going to be single. Well, it's not fine if that's your mentality. If you need help with that, I'm here for that. If you need help to get through that whole divorce process and you're struggling with those emotions, you're struggling with co-parenting, you're struggling with life in general, give me a call. Jump onto the show notes below. You've got my details there. It's got my website, my email, my Instagram. Reach out. Let's have a free chat and see where you're at. Let's see what we can do to get you back on track to love your life as a single parent, to love being in the dating world, to love being single, to love everything about where you're at right now. So jump on, let's have a chat. And that's about it from me, guys. And until next week, I'll be in your ears then. Thank you for joining us on the Life After Plus One podcast. If you loved what you heard today and looking for some further support, then jump onto our website, lifeafterplusone.com. Plus, don't forget to check out our Instagram page for further resources and inspo. You can find all the links in the show notes. And remember, you're not alone on this path. I'm looking forward to seeing you on the next episode. And in the meantime, keep thriving, keep growing, and keep exploring your amazing life after plus one.